Hello and welcome back! I have a question for you guys today. Are you ready? If you can answer it, you will get a special prize. So, the question is, who made up the term carbon footprint? If you guessed major fossil fuel company, BP, then you're correct! Congratulations! You have just won today's prize, so please look underneath your seats because you have just won part 2 of eco-friendly DIYs that make a difference. Okay, I'm back. This is part 2 of eco-friendly DIYs and tips and tricks and hacks that really make a difference. And I really want to thank you all for the immense amount of support on part 1 of this video because what? I just absolutely love reading all of your comments and you guys interacting with each other and you guys leaving me some more awesome recommendations and suggestions, and it's just, we really are a little community. And thank you so much for making that video my second most popular, even though YouTube shows it as the third, even though it has over 1,000 more views and 200 plus more likes. But anyways, thank you! Out of any video of mine, I am so proud and so happy to have this one be seen by so many people. And like I mentioned in part 1, I have so many eco-friendly tips and tricks and hacks up my sleeve. So let's get into part 2. Everybody makes mistakes, and everybody has those days. Nobody's perfect. We all gotta work it again and again until we get it right. We're all learning and growing together, so please feel free to leave your own eco-friendly suggestions down below because I have already learned so much from you guys, and it's a two-way street. And for round 2, I wanted to break these tips up into categories, unlike part 1, which was mostly DIYs. These are mostly tips. And I want to share this one first because I do not want anyone to miss it. So let's get into it. Do not buy technology new. Buy secondhand. I'm going to read you a short segment from an interview conducted by Terry Gross about Siddharth Kara regarding their research on the modern-day slavery and child labor that's happening in the Congo. Kara, a fellow at Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health and a Kennedy School, has been researching modern-day slavery, human trafficking, and child labor for 2 decades. He says that although the DRC has more cobalt reserves than the rest of the planet combined, there's no such thing as clean supply of cobalt from the country. This is from his new book, Cobalt Red. Kara says, people are working in subhumane, grinding, degrading conditions. They use pickaxes, shovels, stretches of rebar to hack and scrounge at the earth in trenches and pits and tunnels to gather cobalt and feed it up the formal supply chain. Millions of trees have been cut down. The air around mines is hazy with dust and grit. The water has been contaminated with toxic effluents from the mining processing. What's more, he says, cobalt is toxic to touch and breathe. There are hundreds of thousands of poor Congolese people touching and breathing it day in and day out. Young mothers with babies strapped to their backs, all breathing in this toxic cobalt dust. Please buy secondhand technology, and I'm urging you to visit the links in my bio to learn more about the modern-day slavery and child labor that's happening in the Congo, as well as the ethnic cleansing and genocide happening all throughout Palestine, Sudan, and East Turkestan. These links are available in my bio, also in the description of this video, along with all of my other videos. In addition to buying tech secondhand, just shopping secondhand in general makes a world of a difference. By thrifting, doing clothing swaps, mending and darning your own clothing, and just living a secondhand lifestyle in general, you are helping to keep items in circulation, which in turn prevents it from ending up in the landfill. And in hand, you are reducing the need for more natural resources to be used, like water and agriculture, as well as all the energy being used and the pollution emitted from the process. These secondhand items have already used up numerous resources, and if they're still good and they are fixable, why not upcycle them and give them a whole new life? And I highly recommend checking out part 1 of this video because I really dove into why big chain thrift stores suck. And so I highly recommend checking that out. So if you're looking to donate, I really recommend checking out your locally owned, small owned thrift stores, and especially any housing centers because those folks really need stuff. There are so many pros to shopping secondhand, and I probably could make an entire video just about that. I might, but here is a rootin' and tootin' example of a fabulous thrift store find, and I even got this vest secondhand as well. And now to get into the categories, let's start with food. Now I don't feel comfortable sharing my food regimen because I don't eat the best, but I will share that I am vegetarian and I am trying to go vegan. And there are so many pros to living a plant-based lifestyle. Just by living a plant-based lifestyle and not consuming meat, you can save up to 1,850 gallons of water per 1 pound of beef. And if meat was eliminated globally for just 1 day a week, it could reduce diet-related global greenhouse gas emissions by an estimated 1 to 1.3 gigatons per year. And if you're like me and you're like, what's a gigaton? Well, it's not the newest transformer, though it is equivalent to taking 273 million cars off of the road, but not transformers. Not only is living a plant-based lifestyle amazing for the earth, but it is incredible for your health. From decreasing the risk of diabetes, lowering the risk of prostate and colorectal cancer, and it has even been proven to lower the risk of heart disease. Plants really slay, so make sure that you are incorporating enough into your diet. Now on to food packaging. Of course we want our food to stay fresh, but the packaging on some grub nowadays, it's kind of redundant. And I really want to say this now before we get too far into the video because I will be talking a lot about waste. I do not want any of you guys to feel bad about necessary things that you have to get, like food and water. There is already so much waste in the food industry, and do not even get me started on the packaging industry. Yes, we do vote with our dollar, but we can also get into contact with certain brands that we would like to see better alternatives from. Instead of individually wrapped gummies and sticky treats, why not do paper separators? Some simple things that I like to do to help reduce waste when I'm shopping for food, mostly treats and not really necessary stuff, but treats are necessary. Whenever I buy candy or a sweet treat or something like that, I always try to opt for the vegan or plant-based version, especially if it is in a cardboard box, like Milk Duds. I know those aren't plant-based, but hey, it's only a cardboard box. And with snacks that are in bags, I always try to find the paper bag option instead of the plastic bag, although most plastic bags nowadays have that TerraCycling option. TerraCycling is basically, you go to your local grocery store or wherever, they may have this for you, and it's basically just a cardboard box. You can put all of your grocery bags and bread bags and other bags that have the little TerraCycling icon on it, and they take care of that for you. Because most things that are TerraCycling are numbers 3 and up, which are not actually recyclable at home. But always look into your local recycling and disposable things. But yeah, I don't really know who this Terra girl is, but she's got a green thumb. But again, do not worry too much about this at all. Just enjoy your life. Enjoy food. Enjoy fine dining. But speaking of grocery stores, I'm sure you guys have purchased produce there before. Right? Well, you've probably seen those little rolls, those giant rolls of plastic bags that you gotta yank down and fill with whatever produce you want. A while ago, I was ootin' a boot and then I saw these, a pack of 3 reusable drawstring cloth bags that you can use for produce. And we have 3 different sizes, and I will not lie, yes, we totally forgot to bring these to the store. But hey, we do have them, and these have saved a few plastic bags, so I recommend doing something like this. Next up is gum. So I recently tried all natural plant-based gum, and I will not lie, it was interesting. I tried the brand Simply Gum, not sponsored, and it's all plant-based, unlike most gum brands which have animal fats and plastic in them. Did you ever wonder why you were chewing on that gum for so long? Yeah, ever since I found out that really gross fact, I can hardly ever eat gum now. Regular gum. I just imagine myself chewing on the gristly fat of an alive animal. Now on to self-care. Starting with deodorant. I've been using all natural deodorant since 2020, and yes, it does work if you find what's right for you and your body. This dog looks like a cloud. But back to deodorant. Shout out to brands like Meow Meow Tweet, not sponsored, but they really rock. They're a queer-owned small business whose packaging is all compostable, reusable, or recyclable. And it's all cruelty-free, vegan, made in small batches, and it is made for everybody because gendered anything is stupid. So they don't do that. Plus, every month they redistribute funds to grassroots organizations that prioritize BIPOC and queer communities, so slay. So I had been using Meow Meow Tweet deodorant for the past 3 years or so, and unfortunately, deodorant doesn't last forever, so when this tube was done, I wanted to try something else. As I was researching more all-natural deodorants, I found this one from Trader Joe's, not sponsored, and I also would not recommend. So I had been searching up specifically plastic-free and all-natural deodorants, and Trader Joe's supposedly had one, but then I got to the store and I'm like, okay, this is awesome. And when I got home, I ripped off, there was a plastic lining on it, which whatever, yeah, I guess you gotta protect it somehow. However, you can easily just put a little sticker like that. That is a fabulous, more eco-friendly alternative to plastic wrapping. But then when I got home, I took off the wrapping, I took off the cap, and then I noticed that the exterior was all cardboard and then the interior was all plastic. Not only is it a plastic tube, but there's a plastic cap. And how do you get the deodorant out, you may ask? You need to twist it, which means that inside there is even more plastic to twist it up. Like, why didn't I just go buy your regular schmegular Dove deodorant then? Like, that's literally the same thing, except that this does not work, okay? It does not work. Coming from someone who very luckily does not have to experience a lot of body stink, maybe it's just because this worked so well. This does not. I would not recommend this to anyone, but I would recommend it to my worst enemies. But I am really excited to finish this up so that once I do, I can uncover all of this and see just how much plastic is inside. And I would also like to point out that these are both 1.8 ounces. Look at the size difference. I'm sorry, what? That is so much plastic. On to the next thing in self-care, which is makeup and makeup removing items. Back in the day, I used to be an everyday makeup wearer, but now I mostly just do full glam or just a little bit of mascara and lip gloss. But it's mainly just for cosplays and then when I'm content creating. But back when I used to wear a whole lot of makeup, we would purchase these makeup removing wipes. And they worked okay, they were fine, but there was just a whole lot of waste. But then I just stopped wearing less and less makeup, and there wasn't really a need to buy those. So I then opted for micellar water, and that actually worked pretty dang good. However, they want you to use like those disposable makeup, the cotton round things, whatever, which you can, but then I'm like, that's a whole lot of waste as well. So I got these little makeup removing cloths, and then I would put the micellar water on there and remove my makeup. These work fabulous. But then when I was done with the micellar water, I realized how much plastic there was in that bottle, and I just felt icky going to purchase another one. And so I then discovered something that I don't even need makeup removing anything to use these to remove makeup. You just need water. So you literally just put water on this, let it soak in, you can wipe away your makeup. The other side is more for exfoliating, so that's good if you have like face makeup on, foundation, whatever. These work wonders. However, this does not take off like full glam. So if you're doing cosplays, full glam, drag, whatever kinda, you'll need something a little bit more. So I highly recommend getting an oil cleanser, something that's really thick that will goop up all your makeup so you can just glide it right off. And I do recommend, not sponsored, but Contemplation's My Only Oil. You can use this stuff for anything. I mean, that's why it's called My Only Oil. It's cruelty-free, vegan, woman-owned, small business, and a portion of every single purchase goes towards clean water initiatives.
It's happening again.
That plane looks really close. There has to be a hidden air base, or like Planet 51. But anywho, this will take off just about anything. Your mascara, goopy eyelashes, whatever. This will, goodbye. But then I also like to follow up with just a regular cleanser to really strip away any leftover oil or makeup residue. And then I will go in with this, just water, wash away everything. You hardly need anything. No more makeup removing wipes, unless you need them, then use them. Now on to period products. So after 89 years of people with uteruses using tampons, they just revealed the fact that they are incredibly toxic. Love that for half the population. Even before this information was revealed, I have been researching alternatives for tampons and pads because literally as soon as I first got my period, I'm like, why is there so much waste? Like every single product I'm using, like there's so much waste involved with it. And I'm just like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like periods. Anyway, I didn't opt in for this. But anywho, I've been looking for alternatives, and especially now that this information has been revealed. But I will not lie, it's not really the toxicity that makes me want to switch, it's primarily just the waste. Like obviously this should not at all be happening, literally what? But I also have no problem eating like Red 40. But also, fun fact if you didn't know, we are already consuming an entire credit card's worth of plastic per week. So, but I use pads and tampons and the waste with that is just silly and stupid. So for alternatives, I saw that they have reusable pads, which are basically just a pad that is like a snap-on or Velcro type thing onto your underwear, and then you just wash it, reuse it, wash it, reuse it. And I'm like, that's fabulous. But also period underwear, which is a fabulous thing. And I'm like, why has this not been more popular? Like what? But anyways, and then they have period cups, which I personally am leaning more towards, just because it's a little bit more sanitary. However, I think I'm gonna dabble with everything here just so I can find what really works for me. But also, all of these are just a great way to reduce period waste. And I'll definitely be looking into period underwear for nighttime. Not because I sleep, you know, insomnia. But tangent on eating that much plastic. I would totally opt in to eat even more of it because we're already eating a credit card's worth a week, and that seems to be a solid solution for getting rid of plastic waste. I'm joking. Not really. But for the sake of this video and for being a good role model, I'm joking. Cheers. I wrote this next segment about 3 or 4 months ago before I was educated on this topic, and since then, many of my opinions have changed. However, I'm still going to share the waste factor because that has not changed. So what I had wrote a few months ago was that I used to be an avid vapor. Just weed, not nicotine. F nicotine. But after I stopped buying vapes, I then moved on to carts. And the brands that I buy come in all cardboard packaging that is recyclable. And with the waste factor, I find it incredibly disappointing how many plant-based companies love to use excessive plastic packaging and other packaging that cannot be reused or properly recycled. Here's a prime example. I do not recommend this brand at all, they're terrible, but just look at how much plastic that is. And then you have your plastic and metal thing in there, and yeah, I mean, other brands literally just use cardboard and glue. So yeah, that's not at all necessary, and I really hate that about some brands. A majority of all tech devices, including vapes and carts and batteries, are all made from materials that are sourced from the Congo. So I will be using up everything that I already have, and I will not be purchasing any more carts. This is my last battery. And back to what I wrote a few months ago, the waste is even worse than I had expected. These little doohickeys here cannot be properly recycled. They can, not in the way that I would have expected or appreciated. So those can be recycled at a hazardous waste facility that has numerous recycling requirements. And if you did not know about carts, that is resin in there. And resin is incredibly sticky and incredibly hard to remove from anything. I should know. And I have yet to see any true behind the scenes photo or video evidence of these things being properly cleaned and recycled. So I don't trust that. So I'm just going to be saving up everything I have until I can find a good way to properly dispose of those. But again, I will not be purchasing any more. But as a plant lover myself, my alternative to that is edibles. Who doesn't love a fine dining experience? Something that's been rattling throughout my noggin for the past, I don't know how long, is lung health. And of course, vaping, hitting carts doesn't really help. So by eating edibles and taking a puffing break, that will hopefully do me some good. And I really want to find more local brands to support. However, my main thing is to find more vegan and plant-based edibles, because a majority of edibles are gummies. And many gummies, unfortunately, are made from gelatin, which is animal fat. No thank you. But if I can find a good brand or two that works for me, that has locally sourced ingredients, is small owned, hopefully queer owned, ally. I
am an ally. Thank you for seeing me and knowing me.
And if you have any brand recommendations yourself, please leave them down below. This is a two-way street. Next up in self-care is body hair. I don't buy razors or shaving cream, and I haven't shaved my underarms in about 3 years, and this will be my second summer not shaving anything. Not only was this the ultimate confidence booster, but it has saved me I don't even know how much money on razors and shaving creams and exfoliators and moisturizers. I mean, I still exfoliate and moisturize, but I feel like I just did it more when I shaved, you know? But for those that do wish to shave, I have an alternative for you. Instead of using aerosol-based shaving cream, shaving gel, whatever, because aerosol products are not good for you or the planet. They deplete the ozone layer, they release greenhouse gases, and release dangerous gases which further increase all the gas in this giant greenhouse that we call Earth. That was a greenhouse gas joke. So aerosol, bad. But I do have some good alternatives. Literally just buying the bottle version of what you already use, so you can squeeze it out instead of spraying it out with aerosol. You can use conditioner, you can use a nice moisturizer, you can use body wash. There's probably so many other things you can use, but now that I don't do that, I don't know. So here's some more. But in regards to shaving, instead of using those disposable all plastic razors that you spend who knows how much on, you can just get one razor and get new blades to switch out. Now, I do not at all recommend this brand, as they have stolen and altered my content to make it their own. Ew. But anyways, gross. They have bamboo razors. They also have basically just safety razors, which are all metal. They're all reusable. But basically, it is just a razor like this. There's no blade in it right now. However, you can just slide them in and ready to go. You never have to throw this out. You can use it forever. And the blades are metal, which are recyclable. So up next is loofahs, and I'm talking about the all plastic kind. I think I've only ever had 2 or 3 in my entire life, because I was very fortunately taught at the young age the power of a washcloth. These can scrub a dub away any and all dead skin cells, so if this works forever, why would I go and purchase more plastic loofahs? However, there are all natural loofahs, which are made from the loofah plant. I literally love this. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever learned about. It's just, I think it's so funny and so cool. They use the entire plant, they just dry it out, and there's your loofah. But yeah, I mean, I have a few washcloths that I've been using, like this one. In addition to self-care, I've been using bamboo toothbrushes for about the past 3 years now. And I will not lie, the very first time that you use a bamboo toothbrush, it will feel and taste and smell like you are deep within the woods. But after that, it's fine. I'm just gonna read you what is on the back of this package. So, it says, reduce your environmental impact and ecological footprint with our sustainably sourced bamboo toothbrush. The ADA recommends replacing your toothbrush every 3 months. Help reduce the plastic waste each time with our eco-friendly vegan alternative. Work. And then, why bamboo handles? 100% biodegradable, recyclable, and compostable, naturally antimicrobial. Sustainably grown material free of any chemicals and pesticides, eco-friendly, requires less water and resources to make. And to recycle, soak the brush head in hot water for 30 minutes and then pull out the bristles and recycle properly. So the bristles are recyclable, but the bamboo brush is compostable and biodegradable. So work. And in addition to that, I've also switched to a more eco-friendly toothpaste, and I really liked the brand that I was using prior to that. However, they didn't want to pay me for my work. So I'm not buying their stuff anymore. I've tried this other brand called Hello. And it's pretty okay. It's free from a lot of crap. It's vegan, cruelty-free. And it says on the back of the bottle that it is at-home recyclable if it's fully cleaned out, which it is. It has the number 2 on there. However, if you watched my makeup declutter video, you would know that you can recycle toothpaste tubes, toothbrushes, literally any kind of cosmetic thing at, not sponsored, Sephora. They have their makeup recycling thing, and heck, I've done it 2 or 3 times now. Fabulous experience, I highly recommend. And the stuff is actually recycled. Like, there's proof. No more artificially scented candles or wall plug-ins or even incense. Now, when I say this, I'm not gonna go throw this in the trash can right now. I'm still gonna keep everything I have. I'm just not gonna burn it. If you did not know, wall plug-ins are incredibly harmful for children and pets and even adults. It's not good for anyone's lungs. And unfortunately, many of the things that are in wall plug-ins are in candles, like if they're not natural and they have added dyes, perfumes, that kind of stuff. And I mean, heck, this hasn't been burnt in I don't know how long, but it still is very fragrant in my room. However, when I want to be cozy and actually burn a candle, I do have a few organic, all-natural, vegan, cruelty-free candles. Again, from Meow Meow Tweet, not sponsored, but this is their air candle, which has neroli and ylang ylang. Just take a big whiff. Doesn't it smell so good? But like I said before, do not throw your candles out, because you should always have backup candles in case the power goes out, you know? Candles are a must. If you're using Google, switch to an alternative search engine. Allow me to tell you some not so fun facts about this company. So, not only have searches just been straight up wrong and have gotten tremendously worse over the past few months, but this past summer they introduced this new helper buddy that really prompted me to search for an alternative, because it's gross and it's AI. Not only is the information given can be extremely wrong, but it can be extremely harmful. And along with that, in their images tab, half of it is just AI. It's fake. It's bogus, it's counterfeit, it's fraudulent, it's fabricated, and just straight up phony. And as much as they love to show and push all of that fake AI BS onto you, they love to censor real, helpful, educational content. They also like to sell your information and infringe on your privacy. And as I was researching for this segment, I was not at all surprised, but incredibly disappointed and grossed out to find out that they are working with the Israeli government and military by using their AI tools, which are capable of, quote, facial detection, automated image categorization, object tracking, and sentient analysis. So if that has not already scared you away, I do have an alternative for you today. I wanted to fully recommend this to you guys, however, literally within a week of me downloading this alternative, I saw that they added a stupid little AI helper buddy. Stop! So it's Ecosia, not sponsored. Ecosia, please remove that AI thing. That is really gross and you're rubbing me the wrong way. But other than that, they are a pretty cool company. A majority of their profits go towards renewable energy, regenerative agriculture, and grassroots activism, and the remaining 80% all goes towards planting and protecting trees worldwide. And they do not sell your personal information. So... I forgot to mention that the last tip was a part of my next category, which is miscellaneous. So, on to the next miscellaneous tip. I do not plan on buying socks anytime soon, even though they are quite holy. I don't wear these to church though. And that is because I am on my mending and darning grind. With darning, this is my DIY darning mushroom, and it's basically just a jar that I can put all of my scraps in, and it works perfectly so that I can mend my socks. I have so much more to do. But anyways, this is a fabulous thing to do when you are watching TV, when all those 5-minute long ads are playing, whenever you just want to listen to music. I like to bring this whenever I visit relatives so that I don't have to converse with them. I have mended and saved countless items, like this very fabulous halter top thrift flip that you can watch this video here. And I also recommend watching that, so one, you can learn how easy it is to mend and upcycle your items, but also because I really dove into the horrors of fast fashion in that video. Next tip, since I talked about pet safety with burning candles and whatnot, and I also mentioned OUID, I feel like this should kind of be a given, but it sadly is not. As a fellow pet owner, as someone who consumes puffs, burns candles, whatnot, please do not have your pets within the vicinity of whatever is happening. This isn't a swap or an alternative, it is just a tip that I would like to pass along to everyone. Please do not keep your pets around you. They did not opt in for that. Blow it out the window, go in another room, go outside. And also, stop bringing pets into dispensaries. If kids cannot be in there, why are pets? An additional pet tip though, and it is an alternative, so instead of using those roly lint brushes that you just peel off each layer and it's just tossed in the garbage, we have a silicone brush. So there's two different sides and both work wonders, and it's like a hair magnet, and I recommend everyone tries this out if you have pets or just linty clothing. This works like magic. So there's no waste involved at all. Fabulous. And the very last tip that I have for you today is to use reusable bags. Now I know this is a very common tip, sustainable hack, whatever, but I feel like it's kind of overlooked, especially when it comes to shopping and grocery shopping. Obviously, paper bags are a whole lot better than plastic bags. However, those are still disposable and cause waste. So this is a fabulous alternative to that. And I'm not trying to downplay paper bags. I love those. Fabulous little paper bag princess, okay? But yeah, and I know this is plastic, but this will be reused and reused forever for groceries, for travel, other things. And I don't know if you've noticed this when you're at the grocery store, but when you go to check out at self-checkout and it says, "Hey, did you bring your own bag?" you hit yes, because at certain stores, allegedly, sometimes if you press that button, it deducts money, and you can keep pressing the button to keep deducting money. Allegedly. So that is it for the tips and tricks and hacks today. However, I do urge you to check out the links in my bio as well as in the description of this video, along with all of my other videos, to learn more about what is happening in the Congo, Palestine, Sudan, and East Turkestan. Please use your platform, please use your privilege, and remember to be kind to yourself be kind to others, and be kind to the earth. And I hope you have a super slay day. Keep doing your best, and have a green thumb, and like this video, and subscribe down below, and turn on my post notifications, and I will see you on my next video or my next live, because I'm going live every Tuesday and every Friday, whether you like more relaxing ASMR and self-care or more action-packed gaming. So check it out. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you on the next one. Starting with deodorant, which prevents them from Now, I'm sure you guys have purchased and from Livestrong.com, 14 point. And from Livestrong.com, 14 point. Why did I say this? As I was researching more alternatives to, and the brands that I buy all come in all cord. These can scrub a dub away any and all dense.